The government is all the way up in Washington, D.C. We're right here. We're the ones who are going to be facing it, and they just sit back and watch. And we want to welcome people into our country with open arms, but we do believe it should be legally. We think they are more than welcome. Just do it the right way.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. A battle at the U.S.-Mexico border continues to brew. This weekend, a convoy led by the Take Our Border Back will be protesting at the border. The group says more needs to be done to secure the area. This comes as the U.S. Senate works on a bipartisan bill for border security. The deal would reportedly allow the president to shut down the border if illegal crossings reach 5,000 in one day. Joining us to talk about it, Attorney Eric Dick and University of Houston downtown professor Dr. Dietrich von Biedenfeld. Glad to have you here both on the fact. Could this become volatile when you have individuals who are angry about something and you put them all together in one place, like at the U.S. Texas-Mexico border? Could it become ugly?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, you have the elements for it to become ugly. I don't think it's likely, but it's absolutely possible. You have a presidential year. You have you have a really bad economy. You have an unpopular president, and you have all this political tension. People angry that there's people coming over illegally. They see him as hurting them with the economy. It could become nasty, but I don't think it will. I tend to think it's not.
Do you think this could be considered political theater for Governor Greg Abbott here in Texas? Because he's been doing a lot when it comes to the border, obviously. Many people say he's concerned about it. Others say this is all about politics and making the Biden administration look bad. Your thoughts on that?
I don't think they have to do much to make the Biden administration look bad. I think he has about 36% approval rating. I think if you look at the economy, it makes him look very bad. If you look at, I think there's 6 swing states, and he's losing the polls in all of them. I think this doesn't help his look. I think he is weak on the border. I think there's rhetoric of him being weak on the border, and that highlights that.
All right. Dr. von Biedenfeld, your thoughts on whether this is political theater for Governor Greg Abbott here in Texas, obviously sending migrants to other states, at one point busing them in, now flying them in. When they said you can't bus them in, he brought them in on planes, and now this gathering at the border with him and other Texas governors.
Previously, I would have said this is a lot of theater for a potential presidential run or a vice presidential run, but at the present, the real political theater are the 25 states that are sending National Guard troops to Texas to reinforce the border. So Governor DeSantis is sending 1,000 troops. That's not actually going to secure, when you think about the size of our border, that's not going to secure anything. And we also know back to 2022, when Governor Abbott increased border inspections with a $4 billion cost, that even the agriculture commissioner, who is an adamant anti-Obama person, said, Governor, you better stop this nonsense. So he's already learned his lesson in 2022. We're not trying to shut down the border, ruin our economy, potentially cost 36,000 jobs. It's more for people like Governor DeSantis or Nikki Haley to say, hey, we want to be on the radar after Trump gets the nomination for the next presidential election. So I don't think this is as much related to Abbott's political theater as much as individual organizations. DeSantis trying to remain relevant in a potential presidential race later on, probably not likely, but that continuation. Allowing this, though, does include political theater, because we still have the idea that the president can federalize the National Guard. So at the end of the day, President Biden can step in and say, actually, this is unacceptable. And since 1865, we've said we are the United States of America, a pluribus unum. We're not going to have any more civil discourse that disunifies our states. 10th Amendment respected, you're not going to run border security. This is a federal issue. U.S. Supreme Court has affirmed it. End of story.
All right. We want to thank you both for joining us here, and we'll see what happens this weekend, Eric. We'll see.